Congress MP Shashi Tharoor recently found himself at the center of political controversy after attending a dinner hosted by President Draupadi Murmu for visiting Russian President Vladimir Putin. Tharoor confirmed that he attended the event, noting that he hadn't received an invitation for the prior banquet and welcoming the current invitation. This decision led to fresh internal friction within the Congress party as senior leaders Rahul Gandhi and Mallikarjun Kharge reportedly did not receive any invite. Now, responding to criticism and snipes from his own party members, Shashi Tharoor defended his presence and articulated a nuanced political stance while speaking to NDTV's editor-in-chief Rahul Kanwar. You must listen to this.
We're just walking out of Rashtrapati Bhavan after the state dinner with President Vladimir Putin from Russia, and with me, Shashi Tharoor, chairperson of the Foreign Affairs Committee of Parliament. Dr. Tharoor, how was dinner?
Excellent. I mean, there was a time when Rashtrapati Bhavan was not known for its food. In fact, it was considered avoidable. Those days are gone. It's very, very delicious.
A lot of chatter around President Putin's visit to India at this time, given that President Donald Trump in particular seems quite upset with India-Russia ties. As a top foreign affairs expert, what do you make of that?
No, I don't think our relationship should be dependent upon what any other country thinks about it, because honestly, every country has independent relationships. You know, Mr. Trump doesn't care what we think of his relations with China, and he's been tweeting about G2 and so on. I think we have to respect his right to have the kind of relationship he wants, and similarly, he has to respect our right to have relations with the countries that matter to us, and Russia has been a crucial relationship. And I think this visit is in many ways a symbol of continuity, and at the same time, I think it's an affirmation of our sovereign autonomy in a turbulent and fractured world.
I'm sure you've been to many state dinners here at Rashtrapati Bhavan. President Putin is a character of history. His presence can very clearly be felt in the room. You know you're in the presence of a historic figure. What did you make just of the energy and the presence when someone like a Putin walks in?
Well, look, I mean, I first met him way back 25 years ago when he came to the United Nations and called the Secretary General Kofi Annan, and I was with Mr. Annan at the time. And so I've seen him as a younger figure. He's obviously much older now. He's been around, as it were, for a generation. And therefore, I perhaps reacted a bit differently from what you've seen. But there is no question that he is a man in total command of his country, of his faculties, of his strategic vision. And we have to respect that and learn to deal with it. And he spoke very warmly at the banquet toast that the president and he gave, our president and he. And I must say that the warmth and the positive messaging was very welcome.
What do you make of the diplomatic trapeze that the Indian government's trying to do? Donald Trump, Europe on one side, Vladimir Putin and Russia on the other. What's your suggestion how to navigate this?
I think that's the absolutely right thing to do. I've written about our sovereign autonomy at some length, and I am proud to have coined the word multi-alignment 20 years ago. It's much truer today. We are living in a multi-aligned world. We're living in a world where each country has different relationships with different countries. The metaphor of choice is the World Wide Web. That's the kind of world we're in today, where I may be connected to you for something, you may be connected to her, and I may not be connected to her. But the fact is we each have different relationships, and we all have the potential to be connected. And the same here. We have a connection to Russia. We have a connection, for that matter, to America. We have a different connection with our problems, too, with China. But, I mean, we are not going to suddenly start saying that because of one, the other is not going to work. I think, for example, it's very important for India to develop a good relationship with Europe. And Europe remains a significant pole for us in a multipolar world. So the name of the game is multi-alignment. Align according to your needs with whoever you need to work with.
And finally, lots of chatter also around just your presence here at Rashtrapati Bhavan. I saw a lot of the people were saying there's as much curiosity in your presence as there was in Vladimir Putin's.
No, I mean, the fact remains, Rahul, that for many, many years, it was standard practice for the chairman of the External Affairs Committee to be invited to every Rashtrapati Bhavan banquet. I have come to several, particularly up to and including the days of President Pranab Mukherjee. But then there was a change in attitude, I will admit, and there was a disinvitation, as it were, for some years. I'm very glad they've restored the practice. I think it's a healthy practice.
You've come back after a while?
I've come back after a while. So for some years, I think that, they had a different attitude. This time, it seems that they have decided to open up a little more to other voices. And frankly, because the relationships with foreign countries are precisely what the Parliamentary Standing Committee deals with, it's helpful to have some insight into what goes on in the conversations, the atmosphere, and so on. So I'm very pleased to be here for that reason. Nothing more, nothing less.
And I agree with the point that you made that your job is to, make the points of your constituents and not to constantly be in a harangue with the government. I think most sensible people watching this would agree with that.
Yeah, that's a different conversation. That has nothing to do with getting invited to Rashtrapati Bhavan, which may or may not happen otherwise. But the truth is that on the question of cooperating with the government of the day, you don't abandon your convictions or principles, but you find common ground. I mean, part of democracy and part of the cooperation between government and opposition in a democracy is about finding common ground. We disagree on some things, we agree on some things. And where we agree, we should work together.
And interestingly, when you say we don't abandon our convictions, it's suggesting that Dr. Tharoor is not abandoning the Congress party?
Listen, I mean, this is a silly question. I don't know why this has to be asked. I'm an MP of the Congress party. I went to great trouble to get elected. And it would take me, I think, considerable amount of thought and various other considerations to be anything else. I mean, I think as far as I'm concerned, I have a job to do to the voters who put me here, and I'm doing my very best to fulfill my obligations to them. Even today, in some of the conversations before we all sat down to dinner, I was trying to plug certain things for my constituency with some of the officials I was coming across here from our own government. So that's part of the lifeblood of getting things done for your people, your voters, your constituency. That's political responsibility too.
Interesting there, Dr. Tharoor, the Congress MP from Thiruvananthapuram, saying you stick to your convictions. This is part of what he believes democratic practice is, clearly indicating he has no intention of jumping ship. Thank you very much, Dr. Tharoor, for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you, Rahul.
Thank you.
Good night.
Now, Russian President Vladimir Putin was on a two-day India visit that has come to an end, where he held summit talks with Prime Minister Narendra Modi in New Delhi, aiming to boost trade with the top buyer of Russia's arms and seaborne oil as Western sanctions squeeze their decades-old ties. The Russian leader is on his first visit to India in 4 years, at a time when New Delhi is engaged in talks with the United States for a trade deal to cut punitive tariffs imposed by President Donald Trump on its goods over India's Russian oil purchases. Now, Putin's agenda on December 5 included a ceremonial welcome at Rashtrapati Bhavan, tributes at Rajghat, delegation-level talks with PM Modi, followed by a joint press statement, a business event with the Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry, and a meeting with President Draupadi Murmu at the Rashtrapati Bhavan before his departure, where this grand banquet was hosted. Take a look at this report.
Равноправия, взаимного уважения и учет интересов друг друга.
And this partnership is developing based on the principles of equality, respect and mutual consideration of our interests.
Наполняется все новым, обоюдовыгодным содержанием.
And it is getting substantiated even more.
Наши переговоры с индийскими друзьями вчера и сегодня отмечала по-настоящему открытая и конструктивная атмосфера.
Our talks with our Indian friends yesterday and today were genuinely open and constructive.
Принятым итоговым программным заявлением намечены масштабные планы сотрудничества на перспективу в политике и безопасности, экономике и финансах, транспорте, энергетике, образовании и культуре.
The declaration that we have adopted encompasses a wide area of cooperation in different spheres such as the politics, security, economy and trade, energy, education and other spheres.
Уверен, что этот документ и другие достигнутые значительные договоренности придадут серьезный импульс развитию двусторонних связей.
I am sure that this declaration, along with the other document, will give a strong push to the development of our bilateral relations.
Breaking news coming at this hour as the National Herald case continues to haunt the Congress party. Major action by Delhi police in the National Herald case. Delhi police's EOW, Economic Offence Wing, has issued a notice to Karnataka Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivakumar. The notice has asked him to provide financial and transactional details. This comes as the team are tightening the noose around the Congress party while this probe picks pace. My colleague Deepak Bopanna is also joining me with more details. Deepak, what more does this notice that has been issued to Karnataka Deputy Chief Minister says?
Well, they've been asked to appear. Now, from what I've learned, they've been asked to appear on the 19th. Now, the assembly in Karnataka goes on till the 19th. Mr. D.K. Shivakumar in particular will have to be there. Whether he'll be able to attend on the 19th or will seek more time is something that remains to be seen. In the past as well, we've seen the Enforcement Directorate as well, which was probing this matter, issue notices to D.K. Suresh and D.K. Shivakumar, and they have gone on to say that they had just contributed as a donation. And they have nothing to hide, and the investigation is just vindictive in nature, is what they had said earlier. And probably a similar charge is going to come by this time around, with the Delhi police now issuing notices to them.
Right. Thank you so much, Deepak, for giving us those details. Slipping into a very short break. Don't go anywhere, as more news coming in on the other side. Long-awaited reunions to vacations and weddings are all in chaos because of one airline, the IndiGo. Flights across India are cancelled, delayed, and plans completely thrown out of gear. The IndiGo chaos continues. It's over 3 days now, and passengers remain stranded. The centre has stepped in and granted temporary abeyance to IndiGo from roster norms. However, IndiGo has been directed to ensure full automatic refunds, and the centre has promised that those responsible will face severe penalties, putting the onus for IndiGo not going or not being able to follow new roster norms when other airlines have managed to do so. Meanwhile, the IndiGo CEO has acknowledged the crisis. He has apologized, but the mere apology has not relieved any passenger who has been stranded at the airports for over 3 days now. He has issued an apology to flyers, promising that normal flights operations will be resumed from December 10th to 15th. Now 5 more days, 6 more days, but no concern has been shown or no immediate relief has been given to passengers, as tomorrow also they will continue to face the same what happened today. Over 1,000 flights were cancelled today, and this is not just the end. There will be more flight cancellations. The flights are not working, no takeoffs, no runway, but only boarding delayed. One sign that is now haunting everyone. Take a look at our report.
I want to share with you that we have experienced severe operational disruptions for the past few days. Since then, the crisis continued to aggravate, with today, December 5th, being the most severely impacted day, with the number of cancellations well over 1,000, or more than half of our number of daily flights. I, on behalf of all of us at IndiGo, would like to extend our sincerest apologies. Messages have been sent on social media, and just now a more detailed communication with information on refunds, cancellations, and other customer support measures was sent. Also, we have stepped up our call center capacity. Secondly, due to yesterday's situation, we had customers stranded mostly at the nation's largest airports. Our focus was for all of them to be able to travel today itself, which will be achieved. For this, we also ask customers whose flights are cancelled not to come to airports, as notifications are sent on this.
India's favorite airline, now a flyer's nightmare. Frustrated flyers failed by IndiGo.
Come on, ma'am. Call an authority. Give us a compensation. Ma'am, call someone.
With no answers from IndiGo. Anger and ordeal for thousands of flyers across the country for a 4th day running. Chaos, confusion and commotion at airports across the country. A record cancellation of 500 flights. Tempers running high, patience wearing thin. Flyers failed by an incompetent IndiGo management. A mother travelling with an infant and a 4-year-old child running around for 2 days.
After 2 days with 2 babies, it's impossible to arrange.
मैम बॉम्बे की फ्लाइट ओपन की है क्या? बॉम्बे के लिए ओपन?
आपको जाना किधर है अभी? कोलकाता एंड कोलकाता की एक भी फ्लाइट आपको इंडिगो से नहीं मिल रही है. एंड व्हाट अबाउट अदर एयरलाइंस? आपने बाकी एयरलाइंस देखे? चार्जेस आर वेरी हाई, 40,000, 50,000.
An elderly running fever as he's forced to spend the night out in the cold.
दोपहर से यहाँ वेट कर रहा हूँ. मेरा ऑनवर्ड जर्नी है चेन्नई से कोयम्बटूर. अभी तक मेरा बैगेज का कोई पता नहीं है. आई एम running a high temperature on this winter cold. My wife fractured her leg.
A daughter with her father's ashes that she wants to immerse at Haridwar, caught in the deadly vortex of cancellations. This newlywed couple attending their reception virtually as IndiGo crashed their party, quite literally, as their flight from Bhubaneswar was cancelled.
ಸಡನ್ ಆಗಿ ನಮಗೆ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಮುಂಜಾನೆ 4 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ.
From pilgrims to foreign tourists, the same horror stories for 4 days. Piles of baggage of IndiGo passengers, no one to take care of. Some forced to sleep on airport floors without food or water. Holidays and plans to meet families thrown out of gear.
We have to stay. अगर हमें कोई और भी ट्रैवल देखना है तो हमें स्टे तो करना ही पड़ेगा वहाँ पे. तो अब क्या है, अब हमारे पास 4 दिन की छुट्टी है, अब 2 दिन वहीं स्टे कर लेंगे तो क्या घर जाऊंगी मैं अपने.
A nervous woman from Chennai waiting to reach Dhanbad to join her job at IIT.
Yeah, so actually I'm an employee, government employee in IIT Dhanbad. So I have to go and join there yesterday itself, but then flight got cancelled and now it has got cancelled. They are not letting us inside.
Flyers waiting for 2 days to reach their destinations, but all they see are cancellation upon cancellation.
It's been 2 days. I was at Indore and multiple flight got cancelled. I rescheduled it and again it is cancelled.
Rescheduling multiple times. Now it got cancelled for the day. There is no flight for South today.
My entire family, you're a family of 20 from different destinations, everyone. The whole plan is cancelled up.
Countless stories of trauma, suffering and despair. Citizens left in the lurch to fend for themselves as IndiGo managers could not figure out their crew rosters. All the airlines has now to offer is a sorry and some inane lines on how much it takes, when it clearly does not. NDTV, Bureau Report.